when a tiny nascent soul begins to reach out with innocent, tentative hands, eager to embrace the sprawling, intricate tapestry of the world around them. It is far more than a simple moment of instinctive curiosity. It is a profound, almost inaudible whisper emanating from the very depths of a baby's awakening spirit, an invisible call that reverberates through the quiet chambers of a father's heart, stirring within him a sacred and undeniably sweet responsibility. This unspoken imperative compels him to learn, to adapt, to master the delicate art of bringing this vast, boundless universe closer to his child, ensuring that every tentative touch, every fumbling grasp, every new sensation becomes not just an experience, but a wondrous discovery, a magical lesson indelibly inscribed upon their young and receptive spirit. Truc Lam, the little girl whose wide, luminous eyes shone with the pristine clarity of morning dew, could no longer be contained within the familiar, comforting confines of her small hand-carved wooden chair. Her entire delicate body seemed to be a rising tide of restless energy, a nascent force yearning for active engagement with the world. This burgeoning vitality was most evident in her chubby, dimpled hands. They were in constant, captivating motion, reaching out with fervent longing as if to seize an unseen marvel, then softly clenching as if to capture something invisible, only to release it again with an adorable fleeting hesitation, a tiny flutter of anticipation. Anything that ensnared her bright, inquisitive gaze, be it a withered yellow leaf, brittle and veined like an ancient map, drifting idly to the ground, a rough, small piece of wood lying haphazardly on the sun-baked earth, or even the familiar, worn hem of her father's simple, homespun shirt, all transformed instantly into captivating targets, potent mysteries waiting to be unraveled by her eager, inquisitive touch. Trieu Duong approached, his steps feather-light, imbued with a reverence, as if he feared shattering the delicate, magical space his daughter had so spontaneously created. The gentle morning light caught the subtle lines around his eyes as he bent low, his already tender gaze now brimming with an even deeper, overflowing wellspring of affection that softened the very edges of his world. A faint, almost imperceptible, tender smile played upon his lips, reflecting the quiet, profound joy blooming like a rare, precious flower in the depths of his heart. "What are you looking at, Truc Lam?" His voice was a mere wisp of a whisper, a sound so soft it seemed woven from the very air, delicate and barely there, as if he feared startling a young bird utterly engrossed in the profound, solitary act of discovery. Truc Lam stirred subtly, a tiny tremor in her small frame, a slight shift of her weight, but her intent gaze and tiny hands remained steadfastly pointed toward the fallen leaf. Trieu Duong's smile deepened, a profound warmth radiating from the depths of his being, a recognition of her burgeoning independence. He understood, he always did. The unspoken language of father and daughter, rich with empathy and silent communication, flowed effortlessly between them. "Do you like that leaf?" he murmured, his eyes full of knowing, a quiet invitation to share her world. He gently picked up the dry leaf from the sun-warmed earth, its delicate, intricate veins like an ancient miniature map traced upon a fragile ochre parchment. He brought it close to Truc Lam, yet maintained a deliberate, safe distance, just enough for her to see its every detail clearly, to observe its texture and form, but not quite close enough for her to touch it without effort. He wanted her to reach for it, to make the connection herself. "Want to try to touch it, my girl?" Truc Lam's tiny hand slowly extended, a fascinating display of deliberate effort and burgeoning caution. Her brow furrowed slightly in intense concentration, her small body leaning forward, fully committed to the task. He offered no help, no guiding hand, no impatient nudge. He simply stood there, an anchor of patient presence, observing her every minute movement, every tremor of exploration. He respected this singular moment of self-discovery, allowing her the sacred space to learn how to connect with the world on her own nascent terms, to master her own burgeoning motor skills. Time seemed to distill and pause around them, leaving only the soft rustle of wine through the bamboo leaves, a gentle symphony of nature, and the gentle synchronous breaths of father and daughter hanging in the tranquil, sun-dappled air. A moment later, Trieu Duong noticed Truc Lam stir faintly, a shift in her posture, a small, almost imperceptible sign, a slight slump of her shoulders, a less fervent reach, that only an acutely attentive father, tuned to his child's every nuance, could discern. He gently lifted her, her soft, tiny body nestling comfortably, instinctively, against the familiar warmth of his chest, a sigh escaping her lips. "Are you hungry, my little darling?" he murmured, pressing his cheek softly to her forehead, feeling the delicate, comforting warmth of her skin, a small furnace of life against his own. "All right, Papa will give you some milk now." His voice was slow, warm, each word flowing with the practiced ease of an unspoken habit, a daily lullaby that always soothed Truc Lam into a state of contented calm. He settled into their worn wooden rocking chair, cradling her close as he offered her the bottle. As he fed her, Trieu Duong's eyes never once left his daughter, not even for a fleeting second. His gaze, filled with profound affection and unwavering devotion, followed each tiny gulp she swallowed, each movement of her little mouth as she fed, a quiet ballet of sustenance. "Is it good, Truc Lam?" he asked softly, a word of gentle encouragement, a silent promise of endless care. "Drink slowly, no rush, my dear." His hand gently supported her tiny back, each motion familiar from countless feedings, yet always executed with an exquisite care and tenderness, as if it were the very first time he held her close, the inaugural performance of this sacred, life-sustaining ritual. Once Truc Lam was full, her belly adorably round and her eyes sparkling with profound satisfaction, a soft contented gurgle escaping her lips, he gently placed her back in her small chair. But this time Trieu Duong did not hurry away to resume his own tasks. He stood there, transfixed, watching his daughter for longer than usual, his mind in quiet contemplation, the seeds of a new idea taking root. Her hands, rested for a brief spell, began to move again, ceaselessly reaching, wanting to grasp, wanting to explore everything around her with renewed vigor, an insatiable curiosity driving her forward. A powerful, undeniable yearning had ignited in those innocent, curious eyes, a desire for engagement, for new sensations, that seemed to demand immediate satisfaction. Trieu Duong exhaled a soft sigh, a gentle expulsion of air that carried a mixture of profound relief that her immediate needs were met, and an even deeper understanding of her burgeoning self. He saw her expanding world, her fundamental need not just for sustenance, but for stimulation, for connection. "You don't want to just sit still anymore, do you, Truc Lam?" he wondered aloud, his voice a soft rumination, a thoughtful murmur, answering himself even as he spoke, as if conversing with his own soul, recognizing the fundamental, beautiful shift in her being, her growth into a truly interactive presence. He cast his gaze around the small courtyard, his eyes taking in every detail with a renewed appreciation. It was a peaceful, rustic space, a tranquil haven far removed from the clamor and artificiality of the modern world. There were no brightly colored plastic toys, nothing extraordinary by contemporary standards, only weathered wood, sun-dried bamboo stalks, smooth river stones, and other humble elements gathered directly from nature's bounty. He nodded gently, a determined, knowing smile slowly spreading across his face, a silent resolve taking root within him, a plan already beginning to form. "All right. Papa will make you a few things, Truc Lam." Trieu Duong calmly picked up several sun-dried bamboo stalks, their surfaces smooth and cool beneath his fingers, carrying the faint, earthy scent of the sun. He sat down on the threshold of their small home, the worn wood cool against his skin, a place where he often sat to work or simply to think. From a small leather pouch, he produced a small, sharp knife, its blade glinting. He began to carefully whittle the bamboo, each skillful stroke of the blade deftly removing the fibrous, rough outer layers, revealing the smooth, lustrous core of the bamboo beneath. The delicate shavings curled and drifted to the earth like tiny, pale ribbons. As he worked, his movements precise and practiced, born of years of working with natural materials, he occasionally looked up at his daughter, his eyes sparkling with a quiet anticipation, a loving parent's deep joy in creation. "Wait for Papa a little while, my girl. Papa will be quick." The gentle rhythmic sound of the bamboo being scraped and whittled echoed softly in the quiet courtyard. A simple, beautiful symphony of fatherly love. A melody composed not of notes, but of intention and dedication, of purpose and devotion. When the small bamboo rattle was complete, rustic in its origins yet exquisitely crafted by his devoted hands, smooth to a perfect finish, and filled with dried seeds to create a soft, pleasing sound, Trieu Duong brought it close to Truc Lam, holding it out like a precious offering, a tangible piece of his heart. "Look at this, my dear." He gently placed the rattle in Truc Lam's tiny hand, feeling the incredible softness of her skin, the fragile strength of her grip, the nascent power in her small fingers. "Try to hold it." The little girl stirred with pure excitement, her eyes widening in wonder, her tiny hand instinctively grasping the smooth, cool bamboo, her fingers curling around its slender form. A crisp, cheerful clink-clink sound instantly filled the air, breaking the serene silence of the courtyard like a spontaneous cheer of pure, unadulterated joy. Trieu Duong smiled, a radiant, all-encompassing beam of warmth spreading across his face, his gaze inviting her to share in his delight, his joy mirroring her own. "Do you hear that? Do you like it?" He didn't stop there, his creative energy still flowing, inspired by her simple happiness. He also set up a simple bamboo pinwheel in the courtyard, constructing it with lightweight bamboo and a delicate, paper-thin leaf, carefully positioning it so it would catch the faintest breath of air. A gentle breeze, almost unseen, soon wafted through the bamboo leaves, and the pinwheel began to spin, its delicate parts catching the light, creating a soft but clear whir sound, a mesmerizing, alluring invitation to observe and understand the invisible forces of nature. Trieu Duong looked at his daughter, his eyes filled with an undeniable, pure delight at her reaction, her rapt attention. "See, that's the wind, my dear. Do you see it, Truc Lam?" Truc Lam watched the pinwheel's hypnotic, continuous movement, her gaze unwavering, completely absorbed, as if she were trying to comprehend a profound miracle the world was so graciously unfolding just for her, a secret whispered by the air itself. Trieu Duong didn't speak much, for words often felt inadequate, too clumsy to convey the depth of his feelings or the wonders he wished to reveal. But each small question he posed, each gentle whisper he offered was more than mere sound. It was like a deep and eternal promise. A promise that even though she wasn't old enough to fully understand the complexities of the world, even though she couldn't yet reply with words of her own, he would always be there. He would always be present, patiently observing, tenderly nurturing, and lovingly guiding her on every single step of her wondrous journey of discovery, a steadfast companion in her unfolding life. Just grow up slowly, Truc Lam. Papa is here, always here for you. Today's gentle narrative pauses here, a fleeting tender moment illuminated in the much larger tapestry of their lives. But the challenges and the unfolding journey of Trieu Duong and Truc Lam are far from over. Their quiet strength, their unbreakable bond, and the simple beauty of their life together face an unknown future, shaped by the gentle currents of their world. Will this devoted father and his cherished daughter be able to forge a more stable, enduring life together amidst the world's quiet currents, maintaining their simple joys against unseen pressures? And what new wonders, what tender lessons, what unexpected trials and triumphs await Truc Lam and Trieu Duong on the long path that still lies ahead, as their story continues to deepen and evolve? All will be lovingly revealed in the upcoming installments, as their journey continues to unfold.